So, Lone Rider here, and just wanted to weigh in on something that's been in the news today. Um, it's Sunday, the 26th of August, and we just heard that there was a shooting in Florida, in Jacksonville, Florida, at a video game tournament. Now, the details are still coming in. Apparently, there was three people killed. One of them was the shooter, and there were a number of other people injured, both directly and in the chaos in terms of injuries sustained while trying to get out. Um, I honestly don't know what's wrong with the world. I hear things like this and it bothers me. It makes me upset. It makes me sad. It makes me angry. And that is as it should be. If you're a decent person and you care about folk and you don't like the idea of people being hurt, it should bother you when they're hurt. All right. If it doesn't bother you, there's something wrong with you. But in the back of my mind, there's this little teeny tiny wheel turning that's saying, like all the other incidents that have happened in recent years, this one will be exploited politically for some kind of political mojo, as it were. And it hasn't started yet, but the news we only just got the news on TV today that this occurred. It's now quarter to eight, 2 minutes less than quarter to eight, actually. And the incident apparently happened this afternoon. So this is appearing on the evening news. I listened to the radio when I was coming back from fencing practice this morning in my car, and I didn't hear anything, but that was around 1:30 in the afternoon. So, but apparently the incident did happen earlier this afternoon. Now, my problem is this: when something like this happens, it's awful. It sucks. I mean, frankly, I get pissed off when I hear about things like this. They bother me. They bother me at a level that, like I said, if you're a decent person and you care about folk, you don't want to see people get hurt. It doesn't matter whether you know them. It's just the fact that, people who are going about their lives and minding their own business, and they're just struck down because somebody did something stupid. Somebody had a bad day or wanted to act out or was angry or whatever it was. And because of that, innocent people have been hurt and killed, and it sucks, and it makes me angry. And like I said, it should make you angry. If you're a decent person, you should be bothered by this. But my problem is when that anger gets directed politically at innocent people, and we know it will be. It's happened before. It will happen again. It will continue to happen, as it did after the shooting in Parkland, Florida, until people finally realize that the tendency to exploit these shootings politically is as much a problem of the shootings for society and for us as people who have to live with it and with the effects as the shootings themselves and the harm that they do. The harm that's inflicted after the fact on people's constitutional rights, on the political debate in this country about various issues, including, let's say, firearms, etc., that's as much a harm as the actual people who are injured and killed by the shooter. It's just it's not inflicted by the shooter. It's inflicted by people who are purporting to want to stop folks like him. But if you think about it, what do the shooters do in these incidents? They target innocent people because of some misplaced anger or rage or who knows what the hell their motive is. Frankly, it doesn't matter, right? The point is, they target people who haven't hurt them. Well, what are the gun control people doing who exploit these shootings? They're targeting people who haven't hurt anybody either. And, I wish I could be free to just mourn in peace and react as a citizen to something that happened in my country here in America. But I can't because I'm a conscientious citizen. I'm a citizen who thinks long term, who tries to consider the possibilities, who tries to see the big picture, who knows what's happened before, and from that can extrapolate what will happen again. And, it's only a matter of time, maybe a few more hours, maybe a day or two, until people start using this as another political pawn, essentially, another political wedge to try and drive their agendas home. And you know, it's tiresome, right? It's to live in a world where bad stuff like this happens and innocent people can be struck down is awful. It's bad in and of itself. But then to live in a world where after the fact you have to worry about that being exploited to do further harm, I mean, that is so not cool. Words fail me. I can't even describe how uncool that is. It's almost as if, you know, I understand there are people out there who just hate guns, who hate the idea that somebody might go target shooting for fun on a weekend or whatever, you know. Um, Believe me, I do archery. I go to the target range all the time, and there are people there who also do firearm shooting, and I've talked to them, and I know them, and they've talked to me, and you know there are just people out there who just, if that's what you do for fun, instead of let's say golf or soccer or playing cards, people hate you. I don't know why, but you know it's almost as if they're trying. I know that's not what they're trying. They're just trying to push gun control. I don't think they consider the effect it has on the average regular person who's not a committed gun control acolyte. But you know, I'm here just as a regular Joe Blow citizen looking at this, and all I want to do is be able to feel bad for these poor people who got hurt and wrap my mind around this tragedy, just like I did around the previous one and the one before that. And I can't, because I'm sitting here trying to second guess how it's going to be exploited politically to attack me and my rights and the rights of other people I know. And that's not cool. It's almost as if it's not enough they have to steal the lives of innocent people. They then have to turn around and steal your ability to even mourn that. And I understand the person responsible for taking the lives of the innocent people is the shooter. The gun control advocates that are responsible for the second thing really don't have anything to do with the actual killings, except for the fact that they're exploiting them for political gain. And so I'm just going to throw this out there. This is wrong, all right? How about we have this? How about whenever there's some kind of a large tragedy, a mass killing, a mass shooting, anything like that? I mean, hopefully it would never happen again, but unfortunately, I think we all know at this point that sooner or later there's going to be another one. Uh, if something like this occurs, how about we just talk about the incident, right? How about we talk about the innocent people that were hurt and killed, and them and their lives and the the lives that were cut short? How about we talk about the particulars of the incident and maybe what could be done to have prevented it in the future? How about we don't talk about gun control? How about we don't make the fact that some crazy man from Baltimore went down to Florida and shot a bunch of people? How about we don't make that about what you or I do on a Saturday afternoon for fun? How about we don't start denouncing some guy who goes target shooting once a month because some other guy who had nothing to do with that went and did a bunch of murders? And then you know the rest of us would be free to at least look at these things and you know process the tragedy without having to second guess how it's going to be used to attack us or our constitutional rights or our property. And on top of it, maybe we could actually do something in the future to prevent the next one of these mass killings. Maybe if we put aside the distraction of gun control, and that's what it is, aside from attacking the innocent, it is really a distraction. I mean, after all, the law-abiding gun-owning citizen isn't the type of person who's going to do these murders. So why do you care what kind of guns he has or if he has guns, right? That's a non-issue. That's something separate. Put aside the distraction of this gun control bullshit, excuse my French, and just focus on what actually happened. And then, for the first time in years, those of us who actually care about our constitutional freedoms and so on and so forth, not only will we be actually able to mourn along with the rest of the country rather than, react in fear and apprehensiveness about what's going to happen to us because this is exploited politically, but maybe as a country we can actually come close to coming up with a solution for these type of things. Maybe we can actually look at it and say, okay, now that we're not worrying about whether Uncle Larry goes skid shooting once a month, we actually have the time to devote to talking about why it is that this murder occurred and what we could do to prevent it in the future. Because going after Uncle Larry sure as hell isn't going to prevent the next one. Just a thought. One router out.